So you've been asked to join an AM team. But what is autonomous management? And what's expected from such a team? Continue this video and you'll find it all out. Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome to my channel about continuous improvement in an industrial setting. And this time we'll be talking about an autonomous management team. The main idea of AM is that the people working with a machine are also the ones who can manage every aspect of that line by themselves, hence autonomous management. So that means that as an operator, you really have to understand how your line works on the inside, how to maintain it properly, and also when it is not in a basic condition, so that you need to call in experts to help repair, but also things like how to clean it easily, keep it in the best operator conditions, and how to set and work your machine in such a way that you get the best product the whole time. Now, traditionally, these are all aspects of different departments with differently educated specialists who will then try and put their knowledge and skills into a working instruction and train that to the operators actually working the line. So you can imagine that for autonomous management to work, operators will need to learn a new skill set, knowledge, skills and competences that were not traditionally part of their education. And this cannot be done overnight. So that's why it is a process to go through, and we also have a best practice of which areas to tackle first. These are the 7 steps of AM that I've explained in another video, so for an in-depth discussion on the steps, please watch that one first. I'll wait. Within AM we talk a lot about ownership of the equipment, and this you can best compare to ownership of a house. There are people who build their own houses and can really fix anything you can find there, but for most people a basic understanding is enough. For instance, I learned how to top up the water on my central heating and how to de-aerate all the radiators. But when there's a problem with the boiler, I call in a plumber. But when I do call the plumber, I make sure that he knows what to do and that I also check that he does it and accept the work afterwards. So I stay in charge of the process even if I do not do the actual fixing myself. And this is the same in a factory. As the operator of a line, you want to be able to tell when something is wrong, do the basic maintenance yourself, and if you hand over some expert maintenance to others, you still keep controlling the process. This part you can call autonomous maintenance, which is also a well-known term within total productive maintenance. We go a step further. We say, as an operator, you should also know the settings, what the settings do, how to optimize it, how to take care of the cleaning of the line. That's why I prefer the term autonomous management. But let's start with this maintenance part. And the main way how you do this is by tagging problems in the line. So already from the first step of AM, you do an initial total clean out, and anything that you cannot fix right on the spot, you put a tag on it and you register it as a defect that has to be solved at a later time. And then it is also your job as an AM team to follow up how many tags are open in your area, when will they be addressed, and after they are fixed, you will check if they are really fixed and then also communicate about it. Because that's the second very important part of being the owner of the line. You should also communicate to your colleagues, all the other people working on the same line, what is happening and which improvements you are making, to make sure that they understand that we are continuously improving their area of work and making things better for everybody to work there. Your technical department, of course, does not have unlimited resources. So you cannot expect all tags to immediately be fixed, or even every tag that is put on a line to be fixed at all. Now, this may feel a bit unfair from time to time, but then again, wouldn't you rather know what will and won't be done instead of writing a lot of tags and never hearing anything back again? And also, let's not forget, you don't actually need the technical department for many of the small problems. Some parts can be easily replaced. The tightening of screws or conveyor belts can also be done with relatively simple equipment, and this is what we usually call first level maintenance. And that is something you would generally train your operators in when you are in steps 3 to 5 of autonomous management. And in fact, the second step after your initial clean out is this keeping the line clean concept. So you will really look at where in your machine are drips and spills and other causes of contamination. What makes your machine dirty? And can we prevent this? Because if during production you get some oil, water or product spills somewhere in your line, you can be sure that this affects the way that the line works and you will not have a stable process. So you will have a lot more trouble making a nice quality product. And also, of course, if the line gets very dirty during production, you will also have a lot of cleaning to do after your production run. And since there will always remain some cleaning to be done, it's also good to check how to make the cleaning process quicker and easier. And who better to improve the cleaning process than the person actually doing this cleaning the whole time? That is the operator in the AM team. So when you're in an autonomous management team, expect to be constantly looking at the way you work with your line and how to make things a little bit easier, a little bit better, and a bit faster. Use your experience from daily interaction with the machinery to find those weak points that trouble you the most, and then get creative and solve them. So you see, being in an AM team is actually really helping yourself and the colleagues who are working at the same line. And of course you would like to share those ideas and successes with your colleagues on the same line, right? So this we usually do through an AM team board as close as possible to the line itself. There are many things you can put on your team board, and your company will have standards what they expect to be on there. The most important thing is to put the ideas and technical problems management on the board. So which problems and ideas have been identified, a list with a planning of what will be done when, and also, very important, a number of photos and or descriptions of previous successes, things that have been improved, so that you can show to everybody that your line is a living, improving thing. Now, as to what the second most important thing for the AM team board is, I honestly can't make a choice. I also invite everyone here, put your choice for the second most important thing that should be on the team board in the comments. Let's start the discussion on this, and also tell us why you think that this is the most important part. But at least what I would also include are KPIs on how the line is performing. Because in the end, you would like your line to perform well. How fast is the cleaning? How well is the line doing? So speed of operating, how many breakdowns, how good is the product, things like that. So the important characteristics of your line should also be managed by your team and therefore be on your board. Well, and of course, don't forget to put some photos of yourself on the team board. I mean, your colleagues should know with whom they can discuss improvements on the line, right? Now, you might think that currently you don't have all the skills required to improve cleaning, to do lubrication, simple maintenance, to start really inspecting the technical parts of the line, and also the quality and safety parameters that you use while operating. And this is why a big part of autonomous management is also to train in these things. But here you can relax a bit as the AM team. It's more the job of your autonomous management pillar and plant management to make sure that there are training facilities and that team members are trained in their needed skills. But of course, do expect to follow those trainings and put in the effort to learn new skills. And now about some practical organization of your autonomous management team. I would always recommend that the team leader be a manager themselves as well. So for instance, a shop floor manager, team leader, assistant team leader, that you have a dedicated mechanic for your team, and that have a small group of operators who will see each other from time to time. If not working in the same shift, then at least have the shift handovers together. How often to meet depends a little bit on how your shift pattern works. So this can, for instance, be a 5-day working week for your whole team, or it can be a 5-shift system where you basically work 6 days, have 4 days off, or whatever system you have, adjust it slightly. But my general advice would be to have a short planning with your team. What will we do in this next week or cycle on the first day after your weekend? Then on the second day after your weekend, your team lead will discuss the progress and the ideas of your team during one of your performance control system meetings, like a daily stand-up. And then in the last day of your week or cycle, you update your AM team board. Now, these are all relatively short contact moments, and the individual team members will just work on their actions when they can. What you will also need is every 4 to 6 weeks to really have a meeting with your team of at least an hour where you discuss the strategy, where to go, how are you doing according to plan, and what are the important things for your team development and also for your line's development. Now, maybe you can combine this with a number of inspections or some maintenance or improvement activities, and for instance make it a half day or a full day that your whole team is planned out from your regular work. But this of course will also depend on what the organization you work can do with your rostering. So to summarize, being in an autonomous management team means you will be actively working to maintain and improve your line, both the technical aspects and also the standard operating practices. You do not need to have a lot of specific knowledge, especially not about statistics and quality management and deep engineering. For this you will get the experts in, but you do need to feel the ownership of the line and make sure that all those experts around work in such a way that you and your colleagues have an easier and more effective time working with your line. If you'd like to know more about a specific topic on autonomous management, please drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. For now, I wish you lots of success and fun with your AM team. And as always, enjoy your autonomous management journey.